My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business trainer, author of Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner, and the forthcoming book, Food Truck 201, Get Off the Truck. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Today, we're going to talk about peanut allergies and peanut oil specifically. This is one of those topics that gets bandied about, and people that have a little tiny bit of knowledge start forming opinions and spouting out their personal opinions without understanding the details. So I'm going to read, this is from section 203 of the Food Labeling Requirements of Information Regarding Allergenic Substances. This is from the FDA. In section C, it reads Conforming Amendments. Paragraph 1. Section 201 of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, as amended by Section 102, subparagraph B, is amended by adding the following. The term major food allergen means any of the following. So in subsection 1, it reads milk, eggs, fish, for example, bass, flounder, or cod, crustacean shellfish, for example, crab, lobster, or shrimp, tree nuts, for example, almonds, pecans, or walnuts, wheat, peanuts, and soybeans. Subparagraph 2. A food ingredient that contains protein derived from a food specified in paragraph 1, except the following. Any highly refined oil derived from a food specified in paragraph 1, and any ingredient derived from such highly refined oil. Now, in layman's terms, what that means is when you take peanuts and they are put through the process that creates a highly refined oil, they are no longer considered an allergen. The science behind that is you're not technically allergic to peanuts. You're allergic to the protein that's in the peanuts. When they go through the process to highly refine the oil from peanuts, they remove all of the proteins that make somebody allergic to peanuts. That's the science. So there's a whole bunch of confusion as to whether or somebody with a peanut allergy is going to have an allergic reaction to peanuts. So people assume that they have a peanut oil allergy, which is not true. They can't, because the allergen is not in the oil, the highly refined peanut oil. The people that automatically see peanut oil think it's, oh my goodness, they take a peanut and squeeze it out, I'm going to get allergic to that, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to die. That's not how you do peanut oil. They have a cold pressed peanut oil where effectively that is what they do. They take a peanut and squish it and the oil comes out of it and then they cook with it. The difference is when they cold press peanuts and create that oil, it retains a lot of the smell, the aroma, the flavor of peanuts, because all of the proteins that cause you to be allergic remain intact. All they did was just squeeze out the solids basically and separate the solids from the oil. Refining is a much more complicated process. So the short answer is no, but there's no such thing as a peanut oil allergy. If you're allergic to peanuts, you're allergic to the protein in the peanuts, and that is removed from highly refined peanut oils. But again, still present in unrefined peanut oil or cold pressed peanut oil. We had somebody that was complaining on our group saying that they were sick, ate at a Chinese restaurant, and got sick from peanut oil. Most likely the peanut oil they got sick from, and if they could actually say it was the peanut oil that made them sick and not any of the other nuts that are in Asian cuisine, but if it truly was the peanut oil, most likely it was cold pressed, because they would have been cooking with it to create flavor. And that's what cold pressed peanut oil does. It creates flavor. So I'm going to say this again. Refined peanut oil has been processed in such a way as to remove the proteins that cause reactions. This type of peanut oil has also a very high smoke point and is perfect for frying and high heat cooking, such as in a wok, for instance. Refined peanut oil is perfect for food service and results in crunchy and delicious foods. The difference in refined versus unrefined oil lies in how it's processed. Highly refined peanut oil may use both mechanical and chemical processes to extract the oil through multiple steps. The peanuts are steamed and then they're crushed using high heat to extract the oil, which is further refined through a variety of processes that eliminate pigments, aromas, and flavor from the oil. This process also makes the peanut oil safe for most people with a peanut allergy, as there is little to no peanut protein left after the refining methods. You contrast that with the unrefined or the crude peanut oil. And those processes that extract the oil from the seeds or nuts, for example, they do it through mechanical pressing or grinding methods that don't use the chemical processes of extracting, and they also don't use the high heat temperatures. That's why I refer to it as cold pressed. This allows for more natural aroma, so the smell is still there, and the natural flavor, so it tastes like peanuts. And if they're doing seeds, for instance, then it's going to taste like sesame seeds. If they use sesame oil, that's why it tastes the way that it does. And then it also keeps the nutritional value intact of that particular oil, because it includes enough of the protein to do what? Actually trigger an allergic reaction. Again, this is cold press I'm talking about. So you can actually buy refined and unrefined peanut oil at the grocery store. But what we want is highly refined peanut oil for frying. So like I said, highly refined peanut oil is not an allergen by the FDA, not considered an allergen by the FDA. And again, that's because the proteins from the peanuts are taken out during the process. I've said this about 3 or 4 times now. I want to get this across to people that are worried about, should I use peanut oil? Should I not use peanut oil? There are restaurants out there that use peanut oil. Chick-fil-A uses peanut oil. Five Guys uses peanut oil. And one of the things that both restaurant chains like to point out is they think it's the peanut oil that gives their specific products the unique flavor. And in a lot of cases makes that food really addictive. Now here's an interesting little tidbit. Chick-fil-A is the largest purchaser of U.S. peanut oil. Those Chick-fil-A restaurants use 100% refined peanut oil to pressure cook all of the breaded chicken that they sell. And it's a decision that Chick-fil-A's founder, S. Truett Cathy, made decades ago. So it's not like it's something real recent. They've been selling chicken cooked in peanut oil for decades. And the founder, Mr. Cathy, experimented with a lot of different oils to find the one that gave the flavor and the texture and the cooking process that he wanted for his chicken. According to Chick-fil-A's culinary senior manager, like most things Truett did, he made his decisions that were good for our food and good for our customers. I don't know what you'd call that, serendipitous or magical, but the peanut oil makes our chicken sandwich nearly impossible to replicate. And I would say probably also the pressure cooking, because those are the things that a typical home cook cannot do. It's a healthier oil, says Chick-fil-A's chief dietitian. It's kind of like olive oil. Peanut oil is considered a vegetable oil, and it's one of the healthiest ones out there. So people that are on the healthy kick, you might want to use peanut oil for the frying. Peanut oil doesn't break down until after it reaches 450 degrees Fahrenheit. That's where its smoke point begins. And it still holds on to all of its health benefits even during cooking, unlike some other oils. The National Peanut Board is committed to finding solutions for people that do have food allergies. Since 2001, the National Peanut Board and peanut farmers have invested more than $35 million into research and education about food and peanut allergies. Peanuts are not the most common food allergy, although you would think it when you read one of our Facebook groups, but it is in the top 9. Now, I want you to listen to that number. It's in the top 9. So let's talk about how many people in the U.S. have a potential for a peanut food allergy. Not peanut oil allergy, but peanut allergies in general. It affects an estimated 1.2% of the overall U.S. population. So remember, a food truck cannot be all things to all people. I talk about this all the time. You cannot sell every possible food item to be able to satisfy every single person out there. But I'd be happy with being able to satisfy 98% of the population, because it certainly works for Chick-fil-A. And to be honest with you, a food truck can only hope to be as successful as Chick-fil-A is. Thank you guys for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you find all the information helpful to your business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They all have your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because you know I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.